She's
Any more Cheez-Its?
No.
I don't want to be alone.
Yeah,
Work on that right real
this
quick.
is some real shit right here. Lots of this I've ingested.
This is bullshit. This should be beer.
Was a really cool spot for us, for sure. For me, I have a really cool beginning because I got tattooed by Chris Kahn there a few years ago when he kind of did his comeback. So for me, like Dark Horse always has kind of like a romantic spot in my heart for tattooing. And there's been so many people that come through there. It's one of those spots in LA where a lot of good tattooers always pass through. And Adam and Brian are great hosts, and unfortunately Brian couldn't be there. Brian Burke was at the Imperial Arts Convention in Florida, which was a hit, as we heard.
Yeah,
we heard that.
We heard that from several people, as a matter of fact.
So hopefully the Open Road Tour will come through there next year. We'll see. Adam's always down for a good time. He's an infamous party man.
Absolutely.
And a great host.
A great host.
And yeah, he's fucking awesome. He doesn't. He gives a fuck about tattooing, and he does not give a fuck about, like, you know, taking himself too seriously. He's a lot of fun. He makes a lot of jokes, and he's a really fun person to be around.
What's up? My name's Hadi. I live in Santa Barbara. This is my house, backyard. And I work down in LA doing anesthesiology. Frank and I met in New York. We were actually neighbors together in an old industrial building, like a loft building. And I moved in not knowing anyone, and he was my direct next door neighbor. And him and his wife were cool as hell. They had a rad dog named Bandit, and we ended up becoming pretty good friends along the way. I guess I started getting tattoos when I was like 15, and I was too young and dumb to know what good style was, so I got a bunch of shitty tattoos. So most of my tattoos nowadays are like cover-ups of old shit ones. So I've been riding motorcycles for a long time. I used to ride like newer street bikes, and I was actually moving to New York and getting exposed to the whole vintage motorcycle scene out there. It takes a certain type of person to appreciate that like old style of the motorcycles, and you know, the raw style of like just a motor and two tires and a frame. And maybe that translates over to the people that appreciate tattoos and like the whole art of that world as well. So yeah, I definitely think there's definitely a connection.
It was hard leaving Santa Barbara because we had showed up at 3:30 in the morning, and was greeted by Frankie's good friend Hadi. And
Shout out to Hadi.
yeah, he was an amazing host. So what we found in the house was a bunch of rooms, a game room, a fucking sick property, and a really, really gracious host. You know, I didn't really realize that all of us were coming through, I think. And he greeted us with open arms and took us out to this place in Santa Barbara the next day for breakfast. And it was right on the beach, and it was nice that day, and it was like the perfect example of a beautiful Southern California place.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I was never in Santa Barbara before, and it was really, really, really beautiful.
Really
for sure.
beautiful. And it was, what a great place to wake up to, because like you were saying, when we got into Hattie's house, it was dark, and we were all pretty worn out and ready to go to bed. But the next morning you wake up and walk out onto his patio with this 360-degree view, and you're surrounded by, you know, tropical plants and beautiful mountains, and the air was just really, really clean, and it was a great time. I love Santa Barbara.
My name is Sonny Boy. I am an artist, pretty much. I started off painting motorcycles when I was a kid, doing everything from like body work, prepping, and like spraying, and doing all the custom layouts and pinstriping and stuff like that. Got more involved with lettering through motorcycles, and that's just kind of led on to like more graphic work from there, and on and on. Frankie I met when we were getting ready for an art show. It was called Oil and Water. I painted a gas tank for this group art show that was taking place at the Known Gallery in Hollywood. And we were just all hanging out. All the artists were just there, you know, dropping off our artwork and kind of bullshitting, talking. I think I was painting the window for the gallery. I was doing the storefront window, the name of the art show and the name of the gallery and stuff like that. And we just started chatting about, you know, what we do, and just hit it off right away. My dad was always getting tattooed, you know, by friends at the house when I was a kid, you know? So like, I grew up around it, like having buddies who just got out of prison, like come tattoo my dad, and like just seeing that whole like kind of fucking camaraderie and like friendship that they have, and like, oh, you know, hang out here and call your buddies up and come over to the house and get tattooed in the garage and shit. So I grew up around, you know, that whole thing, and motorcycles was always a huge part of my upbringing with my dad, and I was always inspired by the motorcycle art and tattoo art, and it just made sense, you know, like was meant to be, I think.
We all of us, you know, we deal with, you come to work and you meet people, and you meet people that are interesting that become your friend or acquaintance, or on some different varying level, right? So it's like, we do this tour, and like, fuck, I met Hadi like 6 years ago, and I haven't seen you in so long, but like, he's a part of like my world in some way.
Dude, I want to go back to Santa Barbara and hang out with Hadi.
We want to hang out with Hadi
now.
We want to go back to the Shine Bomb's house in Santa Fe, because they treat us so well. But these are all just really great examples of why we love tattooing as well, and they really bring amazing things to our life and enrich us, and like make
the way that we all met each other, the way that we all meet new people.
Yeah,
you know, we've all met through tattooing and through, you know, shared life experience, and all the people that, you know, we continue to hang out with have all been incredible.
Yeah,
it's all through this thing, and it's like you meet people in a lot of different ways, but you meet a lot of people tattooing. You have so many different kinds of customers. You have so many different kinds of people that you work with. You have so many different people that you meet, whether it's at a convention or a guest spot or this open road thing, and a lot of us have been welcomed with big open arms, and it's been incredible.
Being a part of the tattoo world and being in this for as long as we have, it's like really a super unique experience that I don't feel like a lot of other people can have, and it's really makes you feel grateful to be able to have the opportunities to do it. So it's pretty awesome. So
yeah, well said. If you're watching and you got tattooed by us, thank you.
Thank you.
If you're watching and you hosted us,
thank you.
Thank you.
For sure. Frankie's tattooing, or else he'd be saying the same shit.
Yeah, he's actually doing what we came here to do.
Yeah, he's doing the thing.
We're just drinking.